Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the 5 Before 5 podcast, where every week I share 5 ideas that blend expert insight from education, business, and health with the timeless wisdom of Islam. For the 21st edition of 5 Before 5, I will be reading out the newsletter I published yesterday. So without further ado, here goes. The title of this one is The 5 Before College Origin Story. Reflections on the Launch of Hamza 2.0. The date of July 1st, also known as today, has been circled on my calendar for a long time. It is the date that I have long pointed to as the official launch of Hamza 2.0. My entire life has been governed by the academic calendar, first as a student and later as a teacher. June 30th is the official end of one academic year, and July 1st is the start of the next. Apart from the flurry of 11th hour fundraising efforts from all of the educational institutions I've been a part of, this date usually passes quietly while I am settling into the rejuvenating rhythm of summer. This year is different, however. Today marks the end of my full-time employment at a school, and tomorrow marks the official start of my new life as an entrepreneur. This is simultaneously thrilling and terrifying. Nassim Taleb has said, "The three most harmful addictions are heroin, carbohydrates, and a monthly salary." No matter its size, a regular paycheck provides a soothing reassurance that prevents most of us from ever taking the leap into the unpredictable world of starting their own venture. Mark Twain once famously said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." I would point to my acceptance of Islam as the day I discovered why, but July 1st, 2023 looms large as the day when I officially seek to turn my why into a business built around my accumulated life experiences and expertise. Finding a name. My most important life decisions have a familiar pattern. I identify a problem, ruminate over it endlessly, flail about like a rudderless ship, ask for advice, make istikhara, and then, just as my hope of finding a solution is beginning to waver, a flash of inspiration strikes. An electricity courses through my body, and everything falls into place. The story of my courtship and marriage is one example. The day 16, a preppy Wazam finds a wife, and the discovery of our house is another. While the general contours of the business I aimed to create, a consultancy whose goal is to help young Muslims excel academically while maintaining an akhirah orientation, were apparent early on, it was not until I discovered the name of this new venture that everything coalesced. During Ramadan, I was making lots of dua that Allah clarify my entrepreneurial goals and provide me a roadmap for translating ideas into action. Above all else, I wanted to find a name for my new venture that would reflect its purpose and mission. One morning, I confided in my 10th grade class, one of the best classes in my career as a teacher, about my struggle in finding a name for my new company. About 5 minutes into a brainstorming session, one student shyly suggested, "What about 5 Before College?" As soon as she said it, I knew that Allah had guided me to the perfect name for my company. In today's newsletter, I will explain what the name 5 Before College means to me and how it lays out a vision and roadmap for the company and my future entrepreneurial endeavors. First, the importance of starting early. One of the biggest mistakes that students and families make in the college application process is starting too late. Most do not start seriously thinking about college until the second half of junior year. The problem with this is that by then there is very little time to craft a set of experiences to construct an overall narrative. Most students tread a path through high school that consists of haphazard wanderings and with little planning. They dabble in many different courses, interests, and extracurriculars, and are left scrambling to find a way to present colleges with a cohesive narrative. The solution to this is to start planning for college much earlier, specifically 5 years before college. Why 5 years? This brings a student back to 8th grade. I liken 8th grade to the PSAT. It is a practice year where the stakes are low, given that middle school grades don't get reported to college. It is, however, a critical year where a student must transition from the social drama and awkwardness of middle school to the relative seriousness of high school. A successful 8th grade year will allow a student to hit the ground running once their hisab officially starts in high school. It is also the year when many students make the pivotal decision about where to go to high school. Both my daughter and nephew just graduated from 8th grade, so this is an age I know very well. Working with a counselor or coach or mentor in ninth and 10th grade is also critical. This is my favorite age to teach because there's something mystical about the age of 15. It is an age where students are crafting an identity uniquely their own. It is the age that I accepted Islam, and countless world-class performers point to an experience around this age that clarified their life mission. I think one of the crucial elements of our outsized college admissions success at Al Noor Academy is that I have taught students for 5 years by the time they are applying to college. This means that my counselor letters are infinitely richer than those written at a giant public school, where a college counselor spends an average of 37 minutes with each student over the course of 4 years of high school. I aim to know my clients as well as I knew my students to help ensure that their applications sing. Connection to the 5 Before 5 brand. Starting this newsletter was a watershed moment in my life. For many years, I had been stockpiling thoughts and ideas inside my own head. A quiet but persistent voice kept telling me that I needed to share my perspective with the world through the medium of the written word. But I have a complicated relationship with writing. It is simultaneously my greatest strength and biggest fear. I have strong perfectionist tendencies, and I have long shied away from the effort needed to produce high-quality writing. I have also always struggled to write without a deadline looming over me. By announcing to the world my intention to publish a weekly newsletter every Friday, I finally created a self-imposed deadline that actually worked. The 5 Before 5 title also came to me in a moment of inspiration. It works because it alludes to a famous hadith that most Muslims will recognize, but it uses simple language and concepts that are universally applicable. As the newsletter gained more traction and a larger audience, I realized that my personal brand was inextricably linked with 5 Before 5. The 5 Before College name thus dovetails with the online identity I have built. The 5 Before College framework. In order to streamline my message and create a program that students can follow to ensure college success, I knew that I needed some sort of a unifying central metaphor. The 5 Before 5 hadith provided exactly that. This subtopic is so important that I may share an entire FBF on it in the future, but I will sketch out in broad strokes here. Each of the exhortations in the 5 Before 5 hadith of the Prophet ﷺ maps directly onto an aspect of crafting an extraordinary high school experience. Following this program will ensure that a student is an extraordinary individual, imbued with a rock-solid moral core and an akhirah orientation. The byproduct of this is that they will also be a compelling college candidate. First, take advantage of your youth before your old age, academics and reading. There is no getting around the fact that academics are the single most critical factor in the college application process. The job of a teenager is to be a student, and thus taking advantage of our youth is inextricably linked with excelling in the classroom. In my experience, the common denominator underlying all of my most successful students is a passion for reading. One of my favorite pieces of advice is read what you love until you love what you read. Health before sickness, athletics, and wellness. Playing team sports, regardless of one's skill level, is an underappreciated element of a well-rounded high school experience. Many Muslims, especially Muslim girls, are not given opportunities to participate in athletics and thus miss out on a critical element in the mind-body-spirit triangle. A video of Jamad Feen, a hijabi basketball star from Boston, went viral, largely because it was so unexpected. Highly encourage people to look at the newsletter and watch that video. Very amazing stuff. In addition to physical health, mental health and wellness is a critical ingredient to a successful high school career. The pandemic exacerbated the youth mental health crisis. Lao Tzu wrote, "If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present." I hope to provide programming to help students overcome lingering anxiety and depression. Third, wealth before poverty, careers and scholarships. A little-known secret of the future of the admissions world, one component of how you are evaluated is your future earning potential. Colleges are businesses, after all, and successful graduates will help refill their coffers. One of the best ways to demonstrate your earning potential is to have acquired real-world experience through industry internships or direct employment. Here's a list of summer internships and enrichment activities that I share on my website. Another reality of college is its overwhelming cost. Helping students identify scholarships and grants is an important responsibility of a college counselor. Sites like Meritmore, Unigo, CapEx, Scholarly, and FastWeb aggregate scholarship opportunities. But having a third-party partner to ensure accountability and follow-through is an invaluable service to provide. Free money is lurking everywhere, but you must overcome inertia to actually unlock it. Fourth, free time before busyness, extracurriculars, and friendships. So much of a student's life is taken up by things they have to do, but how they choose to spend those few hours of free time will go a long way towards determining their ultimate success, both in this world and the next. Everyone knows that extracurriculars are important, but one of my least favorite questions, will this look good on my college application? But most use one of my least favorite questions, will this look good on my college application, as their guide. The key is to identify areas of authentic interest, the weirder the better, and become a true expert. Equally important is the issue of friendships or suhbah. The Prophet ﷺ said, "A man follows the religion of his friend, so each one should consider whom he makes his friend." In the West, this sentiment was expressed by Jim Rohn as, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," or "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." Without a doubt, carefully auditing who you spend the most time with is a critical factor in ensuring high school success. And the last, life before death, character and faith. With the recent overturning of affirmative action and the widespread adoption of test optional admissions, the number of hard data points that colleges have to make their decisions is quickly dwindling. This has made the issue of character perhaps the single most crucial X factor in determining a student's success in the admissions process. Look at the qualities Questbridge most values when selecting candidates for its prestigious program, and note that they all revolve around character. Finally, and most importantly from my perspective, is the issue of faith. Many students feel that they must downplay their religious convictions out of fear of alienating admissions officers. Colleges, meanwhile, value religious diversity. My ultimate goal is to help students embrace Islam as a mindset and a way of life. If this goal is achieved, then they are assured of eternal success. The fourth of the 5 main points, Islam was built upon 5. One of the foundational hadiths of our tradition begins, "Buniya al-Islamu ala khams." Islam was built upon 5. While the word pillars is often inserted, the literal text uses only the number 5. Since beginning 5 before 5 and 5 before college, I found that the framework of 5 provides a perfect structure for nearly everything I work on. I try to break meeting agendas, speeches, newsletters, slide decks, and more into 5 distinct points. For someone who craves structure, 5 is a real blessing. The icon for our Discord server and the favicon for our website is simply the number 5. And finally, number 5, the formula for future endeavors. While I intend to focus heavily on 5 before college for now, this venture does not represent the entirety of my entrepreneurial ambitions. There are so many gaping holes in services that the Ummah needs to thrive, and I hope to work towards filling them. The brand architecture I have in mind follows the formula 5 plus preposition plus noun. Once 5 before college is fully developed, I would love to work on a 5 after school project that helps create YMCA-like spaces for Muslim youth to play and learn. Another possible franchise would be 5 before marriage, a program to help prepare young Muslims to build healthy marriages. I used ChatGPT as a brainstorming tool, one of its best applications, and got some other intriguing ideas, which I share on the website. As the calendar flips to July 1st, I have 5, of course, requests of my audience. If you'd like to schedule a consulting session with me, please book a slot on my Calendly. And the link is there, and I highly encourage any of the listeners to go there to book a meeting with me directly if you'd like. Please spread the word to friends and family members who might benefit from the 5 before college and encourage them to subscribe to this newsletter. If you have thoughts about services I could offer, problems that you'd like me to try to solve, or ideas about how to structure the business, please reach out to me by email, contact@hamzahenshaw.com. If you haven't already done so, please join one of my WhatsApp groups, Path to College Discussion or Path to College Experts. Finally, and most importantly, please make dua that Allah uses me and this venture to bring khair to the ummah. جزاك الله خير. سبحان الله وبحمده، سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.